Hey guys, we're getting closer to the Superman movie, and every day more new stuff about it comes out. It's truly amazing how the marketing for this film is booming. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about the new international trailer that leaked online and revealed new scenes from the movie. We'll also discuss the new behind-the-scenes video of Superman, and some news that James Gunn shared with Variety about the film having many characters and other interesting things he mentioned about it. Plus, we'll talk about that new image of Ultraman that James Gunn posted on social media. So guys, just before we start, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Also, follow our other social media accounts, Instagram and Threads. I'll keep you updated on this universe we all love. All right, let's start by talking about the new international trailer for Superman. Well, in today's video, I won't analyze the whole trailer like I usually do here on the channel, but we'll just comment on the new scenes. So first off, the first thing I wanted to highlight is this scene of the kaiju battle. We have this shot here that looks like the kaiju's tail dragging through the city. I'm really curious to see how the scene of Superman fighting against the kaiju will unfold and how he will handle it around people, because from everything we've seen so far, this kaiju is really going to cause a lot of destruction in Metropolis. Now, there's this scene, which is one of my favorites, where Superman holds on to the kaiju's leg to save a puppy, and he even uses his freeze breath to move the puppy away from there. I thought the scene was very Superman-like. You know, it's something you can easily find in comics, not exactly like this, of course, but in context, the situation Superman is in to save a puppy is very much him. I also like how he uses his powers, and from what I've seen so far, James Gunn is going to explore Superman's powers a lot in this film, which proves once again he will bring us the Superman we know, the true Superman who does good for all no matter what or who it is, he will do good. We also have this scene with Superman and kids where we can see the Justice Gang. Note that in this scene we can also see the kaiju lying back there. I heard some people questioning whether Superman somehow killed the kaiju. Although it looks like it, I don't think so. I believe the kaiju just fainted. And I think Superman will take him to the Fortress of Solitude because in comics that happens a lot. Even though Fortress of Solitude is where Superman goes to connect with his Kryptonian heritage, it's also a place where he keeps and takes care of many things, like animals from other worlds. So I don't think Superman will kill the kaiju. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think that will happen. We also have another scene at the stadium with Superman fighting Engineer, and we can see again him using heat vision. There's a cool detail where Engineer puts on a nanotech helmet really quickly for protection when Superman uses heat vision. This character is still a mystery for me, since she's part of the Authority, so I'm curious about her role in the movie's plot. Will she just be Lex Luthor's henchwoman? That's something to ponder. Lastly, we have this cool scene of Superman interacting with Krypto. I'm thinking their dynamic will be one of the best parts of the film. Krypto will definitely steal everyone's heart. Now, it's clear here that Superman gets mad at Krypto for destroying some things in the fortress, and you can really see that Krypto in this movie will act more like a normal dog does. And I'm even starting to think that's why Superman will give Krypto to Kara, right? Superman's cousin, or as you know her, Supergirl. And I think he'll also be in the Supergirl movie because he appears in the comics, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. Still, I think he'll be in the Supergirl film. Well, now let's talk about the news on Superman. Some behind-the-scenes images came out showing more details of the Fortress of Solitude. And you can see they really built a real place and very cool on set to give depth to the actors when filming. And that's what's good about James Gunn, because he likes to build real sets. And this helps a lot with the film production when it comes to special effects, not just effects, but also for the actors, because it makes them feel like they are really there. So it's much cooler to film in such scenarios than filming in green walls. And Superman can't exist without the Fortress of Solitude. It's essential for him. There's no way to create a cinematic universe with Superman without the Fortress of Solitude. James Gunn also talked about Donner's Superman versions and Snyder's version, and he said he doesn't want his Superman to be a real-life Superman or a realistic Superman, because David Corenswit himself said this in another interview, they didn't even discuss what type. For example, with Man of Steel, they wanted to follow Nolan's vibe. They wanted something more serious with a more dramatic arc, but Christopher Nolan made The Dark Knight, which is definitely one of the best Batman films. That is indisputable. But there's no way to follow that same line of being super realistic and serious with a character like Superman. Superman flies, shoots laser beams from his eyes, has freezing breath. So there's no way to take that aspect and say, look, my approach is more serious, darker, and deeper and real. It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work with Superman. Superman is a super whimsical character in comics. So James Gunn brought Superman into this aspect. He isn't copying Richard Donner because Richard Donner had what references of comics at that time? Golden Age, Silver Age, what else? Bronze Age. Richard Donner's references were more Silver Age and Golden Age stuff where Superman was super powerful and super fantastical. For example, the scene where Christopher Reeve makes time go backward. Like, seriously, it was something absurd that you could only see in Golden Age Superman comics. I've heard people say that this scene has no explanation, and it really doesn't have an explanation. It has none. Oh, why did Superman put a planet on his shoulder and take it somewhere else? Because that's how it is. Comic book stories, you know? Why does Superman shoot rays from his eyes? Can you explain that? No one can explain it. People want to explain everything. That's our problem. Christopher Nolan explains too much. Snyder wanted to explain a lot too. We're always looking for explanations. Oh, but why this? Why that? It's simply fantasy, dude. The DC universe, what David Corenswit says, is a metropolis universe. It's a fantastical universe. He says this in an interview. He says something like, look, this universe here will be fantastical. DC is fantastical. The publisher is known as the publisher of legends. They say there are only fictional characters in DC. You know, Batman is fantastical. Think about it this way. A guy like Batman, he has no powers. He doesn't wear armor to protect himself. He's just a great fighter, strategist, smart, and a billionaire. And this guy hangs out with gods. Can you believe he hangs out with gods? He's alongside deities. He's with an Amazon warrior. He's with and he matches these people with his intellect and preparation. Isn't that fantastical? To me, it's super fantastical. People are used to movie versions like Matt Reeves and Christopher Nolan, which are more grounded. And they forget that DC is an extremely fantastical universe. DC is much more fantastical. You can't build a universe like this without those absurd things because the comic book universe is something that doesn't exist. It comes from someone's imagination. So what I mean is that DC will always be a fantastical universe. Well, James Gunn posted this photo of Ultraman who looks all messed up, right? It even reminded me of Apocalypse in the comics, but this character is a big mystery in the film because so far, the actor playing him hasn't been revealed. Even when the character posters for Superman came out, I remember Ultraman's was not released because they didn't want to reveal who would play him. I think it should be a well-known actor. I saw some people saying it could be Henry Cavill, or if not him, maybe Tom Welling or even David Corenswit, but then it wouldn't be such a mystery to hide the actor. Anyway, we'll only find out who it is when the movie premieres. James Gunn basically said that although there are many characters in the Superman film, people won't get confused while watching. There's even a dialogue scene between Superman and Lois Lane where they mention that this scene you're seeing is quite long. I think this is one of the most important scenes in the movie. James Gunn said it last 10 minutes. He mentioned this in an interview. And he says Superman is an immigrant trying to fit in. And when someone doubts him, he puts on his boots and goes to save those in need. I really like this optimistic approach from James Gunn because that's what Superman is about, right? He's optimistic. So you can't take away his main characteristic. If you want to make your own vision, you can deconstruct the character but must keep its essence. He even talks about other characters like Batman and Wonder Woman. He says there are some DC superheroes with very distinctive traits. He refers to Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. He mentions he'll hardly let screenwriters or anyone change that depending on how it goes. I believe Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman will be what we know them as. So I think in this regard, James Gunn is right. He will listen to other directors and writers for sure, but ultimately, what matters are the characters. I think Superman is getting an approach that reflects who he is. I'm sure James Gunn will bring the optimistic version of Superman to cinemas with quality action scenes, great entertainment, dramatic moments, and comedic ones, too. I'm really looking forward to Superman. Just 2 weeks left for Superman, and I'm very excited for this film. So, guys, these were the news about Superman today. Comment below what you thought about all of this, and don't forget to click the button and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.